Welcome to the My Fenix YouTube channel. Over the years we've had a number of people come to us and go, oh, my torch isn't working. Sometimes this can be solved with some very easy steps and some checks. First things first, UC35 rechargeable torches comes with a battery. In addition to the battery, it also has a battery isolator, a little plastic disc. If you don't take the isolator out, the torch doesn't work. Now sometimes the isolator disc is at the other end. So take the battery out, then take the isolator out, put it all back together again. And hey presto, it works. Okay. On the subject of rechargeables, they come with a USB cable. Now, USB cables, as we know, are quite delicate. Here's one that's opened up here at the moment. If you look at the very end there, you can see it has a specific shape and layout to it. If you try and jam it into place upside down, you'll break the port that it goes into. If you try and yank and wiggle it around, it'll break the port that it's going into. Think of it like your phone. If you try and hammer that, it'll break things. However, if you're careful, ensure that it goes the right way around, right way in, plugs into place, neat and securely like that, it'll run for years. Okay. Next thing to think about is batteries in the carrier. Make sure they go in the right way. Sounds obvious, but just double check. Once they're in there, the carriers will often only go in one direction. So if it goes in and goes like that, it's no good. Turn it around, put it the right way till it's flush. And your light works. PD35s and any one of a number of other lights, they all come with a rubber O-ring around the back. This seals the light, makes sure water doesn't leak in, means you can take it down to that 2 meters depth for the waterproofing. However, when you look in the accessory pack, you'll find there are spare O-rings. If you try and fit that spare O-ring when there's one on there already, you're not going to improve the waterproofing at all. All that's going to happen is when you go to screw that tail cap down, it won't go down all the way. When that happens, nothing happens. What's got to happen is that exposed metal at the end of the body and the metal on the inside of the tail cap needs to make a contact, and if you've got that extra O-ring in there, it stops it from happening. Instead, what you want, no extra O-rings, just the one that should be in there, and the light working. Now, if that O-ring gets a little dry, what you can do is take decent silicon-based lubricant. We use a particular type of oil here at the moment, but anything like that, and just put a little dab of it around the outside of the body, or around the outside of the O-ring, only on the O-ring, don't put any more on it than that. Once you've done that, screw that on, it'll lubricate the O-ring, I mean the torch works perfectly fine. Don't use organic lubricants such as Vaseline or anything like that, because they can damage the O-ring. On the subject of the metal contact on the inside there, what you see when you look inside there is a metal disc with two little indentations in it. If that works loose, that's the retaining ring, holds the switch in place. If that works loose, then it can actually stop your light from working. So we use a pair of circlip pliers. You can use needle nose pliers, you can use a decent pair of tweezers. Just go in there, stick them into the two little indentations, and then just make sure it's tight. Most of them these days, you've got to screw anti-clockwise to tighten up, but some of the very old or early models, you actually had to put a clockwise twist on them. So just be careful, make sure you get that the right way around, and make sure it goes nice and tight. Next thing, multimodal torches. So for example, PD35 Tactical, it can operate in the same manner as the standard PD35, or you can operate it in tactical mode. Now in tactical mode, pressing that button at the front there doesn't work. What you need to do is operate it off the tail switch. Now, because the different modes change with the different models, have a good read of your instruction manual and make sure you get that an understanding of how to change from one mode to the other. You could accidentally switch it from normal mode into tactical mode or something along those lines and not realise you've done it. For this, literally it is by accidentally pressing that button for too long, you can change it back from tactical to normal mode. If you don't realise you've done that, all of a sudden you're trying to change it off the tail cap, nothing's happening. Have a good read of your instructions, see how it works. Tactical grip rings. Great piece across the back there, gives you something to hang on to, stops things sliding around in your hands. Great. However, look at that, nice and tight on there. Great. But my torch isn't working. Well, if that grip ring unscrews down, it stops that tail cap screwing down fully. It's just like that PD35. If it's not all the way down, it doesn't work. So make sure that tactical grip ring is fully tightened up, as tight as it will go. Then tighten the torch up. All of a sudden it works again. Another thing to think about then, with modes on the torches, for example, here we have one of the PD35 digicams. If the battery power is too low, when you go to change modes, you'll go low, medium, high. Oh, nothing's happening. That's purely because the battery needs charging. Then all of a sudden I'm back to where I started from. Some will operate like that, others will actually then hide those modes that won't function. So again, have a quick read of the manual, see what it says. If in doubt, give us a call and we'll try and answer the question for you. If you've got any questions, again, we can be easily contacted at our normal sales@myfenix address, or if it's anything to do with faults, throw it across to the service@myfenix address and we'll do our best to answer you as quick as we can. Hope you found this useful.